And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello, everyone, and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we this fine Monday? How have we been? What we've been up to? I know what I've been up to. It's something that happens like every few months, and then I talk about it on stream. I rebuilt a computer, or built a computer, depending on how you look at it, because I had to. My old computer case was this monstrous, absolute, gigantic thing that I have just been dreading doing anything with. And then we had the Prime sale thing, and I bought myself a new hard drive. I bought a very, very fast SSD. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to put that in there. I don't want to do that, but if I'm going to do that, it needs to be, I need to do it in a way that makes it a lot less of a struggle to get my computer out of that place. So I replaced the case with quite a pretty, much lighter one, and I pulled out all the big old hard drives that I wasn't really using anymore, and it was a fucking hassle, I'll be honest, but it should make future stuff much less hassly. So yes, that's what I did. I wish I was smart enough to do anything with computers. It's not hard. The Lego analogy is mostly accurate. Oh, someone's noisy out there. It's just parts.
Happy birthday, Demon Orb.
Oh, Demon Orb is old. Well, belated birthday, but still. Yeah, it's not hard to do computer stuff. It's like actually really easy. You just have to be willing to dive in. And I'm quite fortunate now. When I was first building computers, it was the most stressful thing in the world because it was almost always most of my money, and I didn't have spares. And this was before the days of Amazon, where if you fuck up now, you can send it back and go, oh, it came broken. What are you going to do? Give me a new one or give me a refund. Back then, you broke it. They're like, how is that my problem? Don't miss those days. Although, it has other problems with it, obviously. But yeah, so now I have like spare parts. I have other things. So if I fuck something up, I don't have to guess what the problem is anymore. I can actually work it out. But yeah, that's fun.
I can't wait until you have like your own space.
Yeah, she's been whinging because I took over the living room.
You put all your garbage in there, and then I can have a minimalist house.
Yeah, that I, yeah. But I mounted my computer tower to one of my manicurist stations that I use for miniatures painting. Oh, I see. I had this image in my head that you had like a manicure shop and that you'd gone down to it with your computer and you just like put it on one of those. But you happened to draw. I get it now. You bought one on its own to do miniatures with because it's like almost fit for purpose. I take it. I do an old in about 20 days. Is it a very old? Anyone want to be assimilated by the Board Collective? We have free cookies for those that say yes. I mean, cookies are good. I want a maximalist house. Yeah, exactly. I like stuff. But no, I have to be, I have to get the house and then I have to live in like one corner of it and she gets the rest of the house. It's a very fair and equal relation.
It's not that, it's just you can have your room for your crap. Like all your wires, all your computer bits, all your games.
Do I get a studio and a crap cave?
Yeah.
Ah, that's more fair.
I thought you wanted a man cave anyway.
No, I always had it in my head that I would just make a particularly large studio, which also had most of my shit in it.
Yeah, that would work too.
But I guess I just need storage more than anything else. I want a small house.
Considering how expensive houses are, it's going to be a while.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem, innit? Best starting faction for Warhammer 40k. I haven't got a fucking clue. I've never played it. I've never been that into it. It's a board game, and if you know anything about me, I can't do board games. They actually drive me crazy. Oh my god, when I figured that out, it was kind of a relief. Always thought I was a bad person, but it turns out I'm just broken, at least for board games. I just called someone a boomer on social media. I am 73. Is that wrong? You're 73. Jesus Christ. That's a. I just don't understand why someone who's 73 would give a shit about what I do. I have aircraft parts around my house. I mean, it all depends on how that happened. Do they just crash into your house a lot? So, it happened again, love. And there's just wings and bits of fuselage and all that shit everywhere. And yet the house is fine. It's weird. Build an extension. Attach it to building wall. No one will notice. Unfortunately, we currently live in a flat. So there's not a lot we can do in terms of extensions without getting into a lot of shit for it. Because ultimately, even if we rent as well, but even if we like owned our flat, I'm not sure we'd be allowed to do anything beyond like change our front door or anything sort of inside. We have thought a lot about
You're not
knocking
allowed,
down.
You wouldn't be allowed to change the front door because it affects a communal area.
Ah, see, bullshit. But we can change like interior stuff, and we've definitely thought about making the kitchen and the living room, which are right next to each other. But there's this thin nothing of a wall that you can't really do anything with. You can't like put things on it because it's like all glass, except we covered the glass because it looks like shit. So yeah, it's an entire generation, and obviously not all of them are stupid. I mean, they are people. There's a good chance. Us boomers need to stay safe against the heat. I do it by drinking copious quantities of acai beer. That seems like a good way to do it. It's not a board game, it's a tabletop game. The difference being it takes up more space, but it fundamentally functions the same and is as equally boring for someone who...
Don't you play board games on tabletops?
Yeah. They're not like roof games, are they? It's entire... I don't know. Wow, I remember... Someone called me middle-aged the other day. I said, I do not plan on living to 146. But that's fair. I mean, won't you be surprised? Fucking hell. Thought I'd be dead years ago. I prefer using the term gammon. Gammon is great. Gammon is really great. So sick. I found a whiskey fountain in the woods, completely clean and people-free. I mean, I wouldn't trust that. I mean, I would stay away from it. It's definitely not mine, and it's definitely not booby-trapped. I'll tell you that much. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Torben, Formella. I don't know. A few years ago, Leo of Frogleaf Studios sold his house in Iceland for roughly 18,000 US dollars. It had a studio in the backyard. That is nothing. That is amazingly a tiny amount of money. I'm assuming that their housing market isn't completely fucking balked. Ours is pretty balked at the moment, although it's expected to go down. Whether or not that actually happens, who the fuck knows? But yeah. Why potatoes, Zach?
Did you ever travel to Germany? No. I would like to go to Germany.
You'd like to go to pretty much everywhere as long as it's not cold or too full of spiders.
Yeah, true.
Unfortunately, it is either cold or full of spiders for
because
most places.
I have friends in Germany as well, which...
Look at us showing off with our friends.
Yes, my Scheiße Kartoffels.
Oh, silly sick. You can paint the door? Have you thought about making a basement? I mean, we are on the bottom floor of the apartments. I mean, if you're on one of the higher floors, the basement basically builds itself. I mean, the people who live there get really mad at you, but there it is. And hey, they get a free loft. But no, pretty sure we couldn't get away with completely destroying the foundations. I feel like someone would get upset. Someone would get mad. And I ain't about that. Not because I care to make them mad, but because then they'll want to interact with me, and that is Noguster. Found out a few years ago I don't even own the lawn outside my apartment. It's hedges around and everything. I have to take care of it. Not fair. That is some bullshit. But you do have to live in Iceland. Iceland sounds cool. Get it? Just stopping in on my last break. Just wanted to say thanks for all the laughs. You're welcome. They were specifically for you. Have some money. Landlords suck. Insert relevant insult here. You need an attic then. I mean, again, I feel like I might make someone a bit upset. Also, the concrete in this building is built like fucking ridiculously so. When we had the fire, it turned out that one of the pieces of advice of this kind of building is that if another bit of it is on fire, stay in your house because it's just that fireproof. They're kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, the concrete squares.
Yeah. I am actually close to on time today. I must need more whiskey. I mean, you can always come in on time if you come in about 10 minutes ago every Monday or whatever day it is in your time zone right now. Sir Sick dig in a basement like Kevin Bacon in Stir of Echoes. I've not seen that. Woof. Come to Croatia. It's been so hot for the last few days. All the spiders spontaneously combusted.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're being hyperbolic, but that sounds
some
awful.
of the temperatures, and they're pretty bad.
I am not about that kind of heat. Fuck that shit.
We've been getting a lot of rain. I think we're stealing everybody's rain at the moment.
Wasn't there someone who thought that we were stealing their clouds? Some leader of a country that thought that the CIA was stealing clouds, and so was MI5 or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think
he was
so.
a bit out of his mind, just a bit. Haven't heard any F words yet. Can you make it the whole hour? I don't fucking think so.
I heard him swear earlier.
Oh, I always swear. It's just sometimes I swear more than others. Sometimes I had a script the other day, and I was like, even this is a bit sweary for me. So I went through and changed a few of the F words to other less FEF words. Even though I bleep them, I'm pretty sure YouTube gets kind of salty about it in general. That's why I can't change the front door. It's a fire door to stop it spreading to other flats.
Yeah, that's why we're not allowed to change ours.
But couldn't I change it to a different kind of fire door?
They're very expensive.
Yeah, but if I could afford it.
Yeah, but why would you want to? And also, it'd have to be the same colour as all the others on the outside for the aesthetic.
Yeah, so you change it. You keep it the same green.
Yeah,
or blue,
why
or
change
red,
it then?
or whatever, and you just go,
the door's
there you go.
Perfectly fine. Why change it?
It was 91 Fahrenheit here I live. Where I live the other day. It's not supposed to be this hot, and we're getting smoke from Canada. Oof. Hans needs to feed his imaginary animals. I mean, he always does. Which, I don't know what you would feed them with. I guess other imaginary animals. The real F word, iFrance. iFrance is the new product from Apple. It's like France, but it has a touchscreen.
It's just a giant baguette with a touchscreen.
Oh my... Why? That's like ridiculous stereotyping.
Yeah, but then you get a snack as well.
I once had a fire door, but then I put it out, but tis. I can tell that you're 70 odd. I should have noticed years ago. Out where the river broke, the bloodwood and the desert oak, Holden Rex and boiling diesel steams at 45 degrees. Da. What? Why? God, I remember when I was younger and edgier and just put in music lyrics as like statuses and shit like that. Oh
God, that is edgy.
I know.
I don't think I ever did that.
You didn't even do that.
No.
Wow. I always thought you were more try hard than I ever was. No. You must have done some. You've definitely done some cringe in your life, no doubt.
Oh, there's definitely things that are cringy.
God. That's it. That's what we're talking about today. What is your biggest bit of cringe that just really, really upsets you to remember about? I would tell you mine, but I don't actually remember any until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I remember all of them at once. But I don't want to think about mine. I want to think about yours so I can replace them. And then somehow trick myself into thinking that I was the one who did it. Of all the cultures ever, only the English have developed an effective rain dance. It's the cricket season. That's fair. That's fair. Right now, my CPU on the PC I'm gaming and watching this stream on is 46 degrees. It's currently 45 degrees outside. That's almost impressive, to be honest.
That is pretty impressive.
I mean, it's near ambient. The other thing you can do is you just get an air conditioner and you get some piping. You like duct tape it to it, and then you can blow it through. My fire door got bored and decided I was an antipsychotic with a hammer neighbor door. I hope you don't get an interesting neighbor. I have had my most interesting neighbor. Like, me and Mrs. Sick have had some really shitty neighbors.
Yeah.
But when I lived on my own, I had the biggest, just worst prick of a neighbor. I absolutely fucking hated him. I saw him years later in a like a Tesco's bathroom or something, and I was like, that's that fucking dickhead. And I was like, should I do something or should I just leave quickly? And I left quickly because that was the correct choice. But fucking hell, that guy made my life misery. He was just this giant fucking druggy loser who used to come into his house, play ridiculously loud music. And this was a set of flats, but they weren't really flats because they were barely separated by paper-thin
Paper
walls.
walls, yeah.
And he would just do shit like that. And then one night, like, I was woken up in the middle of the night after working all fucking day, which he definitely didn't do, to police banging on my door because he'd lost his key and thought I fucking taken it. I'm like, I don't even know you, you fucking loser. Piss off. And eventually, once he left, he filled my keyhole with polyfiller. Just as an absolute last insult to me. Oh, he had a fucking son as well. Oh, the guy was like in his 40s or 50s. I was 20 at the time. And his son would stand at the door and like shout insults at me through the door. Because I was like, I would wear black. Like, I'm not even like properly goth, but he just, you got, must lose your fucking dickhead. Like, it's like, what is wrong with you people? They absolutely fucking ruined my life for that time period until they were fucking gone. That was just the worst. I absolutely, if I watched that guy like running down the street on fire, I would clap. I don't hate people generally. I hate that guy. He is just the worst fucking human being I've ever experienced. Fuck him. Anyway, how are we doing? Yeah, not good, not good. I had a neighbor that parked in front of my door a lot. Parked in front of your door? Ugh! Jesus Christ! I subjected him to the brown note, seemed to stop him. But I subjected him to the brown note. Do you mean you just played, like, the music? Or did you, like, shit on his car? Because, yeah. Co-worker at Radio Shack had a mineral oil aquarium computer. Fuck that noise.
Oh, no.
Oh, mineral oil just, it gets everywhere and it doesn't go. Like, aesthetically, they're kind of cool. And the horse he rode in on. Yeah. If the horse was on fire, yeah, I wouldn't piss on him to put him out. I wouldn't care. Just, oof. Are we talking about food yet? No, today we're talking about hate. Like real, or hate and or cringe. There you go. What's your worst neighbor? What's the stupidest, most awful feeling on yourself have you ever done? Playing Warhammer 40k while drinking and listening to They're Sick live stream about worst people. I'm a terrible person. It feels good. Oh yeah. Really hate that. But I actually, Nothing like getting a bit of venom off your chest. Who's the worst person you've ever had to deal with that you couldn't just like, not necessarily family. Let's go with strangers who were just made your life really painful.
Someone said I had a shitty neighbour for the first 2 years I lived there. He didn't care about anyone else and had parties all weekends in the summer until 3 a.m.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, we've had neighbours like that, me and Mrs. Sick.
We've had ones that played music from like probably like 6 in the evening till like 4 in the morning.
One of them
Just non-stop, just douche music.
Did the fucking Trollolol song. That was like 2 hours of one particular evening.
Do you remember the other? You remember the other
On
neighbours
repeat.
we had? The other neighbours we had, and they did karaoke, like
Oh,
really
God.
fucking loud karaoke.
There was the neighbour who flooded his flat,
Oh yeah, that guy.
which we had to get someone in because the council weren't. This was a council flat,
It was on a Sunday.
and it was on a Sunday, and they were like, "Oh, we can't really send anybody out." So I, thank Christ, knew someone with tools and who had experience with plumbing, and got him to come around, and he fucking turned his fucking thing off. It looked like someone had torn this guy's fucking dishwasher or something out of the wall. God knows what. But yeah, that was flooding into our house.
He was a fucking idiot.
He was a he wasn't malicious, and he didn't do music stuff, but he was so stupid.
We said to him, "You need to turn your electrics off."
You'll die. And he sat there in his living room watching TV.
But like, not just that. We said, "Go turn your electrics off" because of the electric and water, and his house was flooding.
Yeah.
And then so he started switching the light switches off.
Yeah.
And we were just
not
like,
smart,
"No,
man.
dude."
And this was mostly, we're downstairs. We don't want to get electrocuted by your pissing water. Yeah. So, and after that, because we didn't really understand what we were supposed to do about it, we ended up getting fucking mushrooms in our house.
Yeah, we did.
Growing through the goddamn walls, which I basically had to just bleach the shit out of the walls one day when Mrs. Sick wasn't there. And that seemed to do most of the trick. But fucking hell. Oh, we have had some right winners.
Okay, let's see what someone else's misery is. We got
Had a roommate that was taking our mortgage payment and wasting it away and not paying it after 2 years of payments. We got evicted.
wow.
So here's a trick. Never fucking trust anyone. Never give your money to someone who says they're going to do something. If you know that you can do it yourself. And you get them to give you the fucking money. The neighbor on the other side came home very drunk and her boyfriend would not let her in. She came to me asking to turn my light on to find her brick. She then broke into her own house. I mean, that's just good.
My algebra teacher in high school was the biggest arsebite I had ever met. I found out he was dead a couple of years ago, and now I'm gonna go piss on his grave.
God damn.
What the fuck did he do?
You've got to give us more than that. Like, surely you've got to give us more than that. Otherwise, I just didn't like him. I'm going to go piss on his grave. Had a roommate who stole a ton of my stuff one night while I was out working. Never found them or got any of my stuff back. That's fucking awful. That's really bad. Thankfully, the closest we've had to roommates, like neither of us major stuff was there. We lived with another couple. It was her house, and he was there, and then we slept in the living room. This was like for a month or so. But we brought internet into the house in one of those little dongle things. And the most funny thing about that whole situation is when we were leaving, they basically said, "Oh, we need to kick you out because we want the space to ourselves." And like, fair enough, that's fine. But then we took our stuff. We had computers and internet. And they're like, "Are you not going to leave the internet?" I'm like, why the fuck would we do that? Do you not understand how owning things works and like paying for things? Yeah, they were not smart people.
I had a decent sound system with massive subwoofer. I would watch rocket launch explosion tests and car races at 3 a.m. to annoy my horrible neighbours at my old place. I moved 3 years ago.
I mean, you haven't said anything about what they did, so it just sounds like you're a fucking awful person. Not gonna lie. You have to start with a story about them, and then, I mean, we might have just missed it, but it doesn't look like it.
I have a neighbour who likes music with heavy bass. I would regularly have to listen to the rest of the evening. Our leases have a do not play loud music clause and complain to the managers.
They raised our rent 25%, and a few months later are kicking us out. That's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you have problems. Well, I think 25% more money from you to me will help solve that. Also, get out. Thanks.
There you go, there's the algebra teacher. Algebra teacher, Jack Coughlin, former Marine, told me to get a haircut and that he would suspend me.
I told him to fuck off. Fair. You have children. The thief roommates are already in the house. Shh, they will hear you. They are such little rules lawyers. I'm not convinced that they'll ever go through a steely period. I just don't think it will ever occur to them. The worst thing they've ever stolen is like food.
Food, yeah.
And oh god, it's still the funniest story, and I remind her of it. But one of them came out of the kitchen with a mouthful of cheese, and I said, "What have you got in your mouth?" And she went, shaking her head at me, And I was like, "Open your mouth." And then she started chewing furiously. This is at like 5 years old, so you know. She wouldn't be that stupid now. And maybe she's smart as a fucking tack. But yeah, she started chewing really fast. And then like a solid minute went past waiting for this. And I'm here trying not to piss myself laughing because it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And she eventually does the big gulp and then goes, showing me her mouth and said, and I was just like, "Do you think I'm stupid?" And she's like, "No." It's like, I could tell you were eating the... What is wrong with you? That is embarrassingly dumb.
Another one as well, though. She made herself a sandwich, and then she like quickly walked out of the room with it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, wait, come back, because I clearly saw it was like a Scooby snack.
It was so ridiculous.
It had like 6 layers of cheese stacked on top of each other.
You're supposed to have like at most 2 slices of cheese, and she had fucking basically taken the packet of cheese, it's like 10 slices, and put it in a sandwich. I'm like, you can't do that, darling. You don't need that much cheese. I get it. Cheese is nice. Cheese is delicious. But Jesus Christ. Oh, great stories they come out with. Gonna save them again for like 20 years old and just... tell and tell and tell.
I had a typical housemate who'd use all the dishes and not wash them and eat my food. Yeah, my sister had a roommate like that. She would, because my sister's a bit of a clean freak, which is, you know, she likes to have her space tidy.
Yeah.
But she kept cleaning up after her roommate constantly. And she got to the point where she's like, I spend almost an hour and a half every day cleaning up her mess because she just leaves it everywhere. And
isn't this the one who had left a sack of flour somewhere?
Well, she got the idea that she wanted to bake something, but then never did. So she left like it was like bulk buying backpacks
like
of
4 kilograms of fucking flour. Or
they
something
they were like these huge bags of flour, but they were like stacked on a pallet and wrapped with clear wrap.
That's even worse than I remember.
And she bulk bought it, thinking that she was going to do loads of baking.
How much fucking baking was she planning on doing?
Proper impulse buy. But yeah, she ended up. My sister just went. She didn't clean for 2 weeks, just to make a point of like how much she actually does. But it got to the point where she cooked some like steaks on a skillet, and then
left it
like she like burnt it or something, went, oh, that's rubbish, and just left it on the side, and it stank and it started going gross, and the whole kitchen had flies and it stank in there, and my sister's like, I have to clean this is disgusting. And then she had a huge massive argument with her, like, you need to clean up after yourself, this is ridiculous. And the thing is, like, she was older than my sister at the time as well in university.
It's stunning. Just like, I'm not gonna lie, like that butthole neighbor, he went, and when I left that property, I was in my early 20s, and I left it a bit of a tip. I am not fucking proud of myself. You know, young people are ridiculous, but there's that, and then there's just being a monster to other people. Like, just like, again,
I think
like with that place, I left it a tip. I'm not gonna lie, but then the fucking landlord tried to charge me double, saying that I'd broken a light switch. A light switch had broken, and somehow the amount of, I don't know, but it was mental, and I was just like, what is wrong with you? Wait, Sick wasted whiskey money on cheese? I waste a lot of money on a lot of things, but I still end up with whiskey, so it's fine. Yes, a pallet. I saw it.
Yeah, I did.
I like the way Mrs. Sick says gross.
Gross.
No, don't say it again. You got to make them pay. God damn it. Have we forgotten the rules? We haven't actually iterated the rules in a long time. If you want a wrench, even though I'm not supposed to charge for them, I don't charge for them, but if you pay for one and ask for a wrench, you might get one. And there's no other way to get a wrench because I don't see the value of it.
And if you use it, you lose it.
And if you use it, you lose it. And then there's, what is it?
If you want me to say words.
If you want Mrs. Sick to say words, you have to pay it and ask her to say it. Especially if it's a word you like gravy. I bought $200.
Not like a forklift pallet. It was like a little one.
Like a small pallet.
Yeah, it was like probably like the quarter of the size of a normal pallet. But still, it was like stacked. It was all wrapped around, and it was like she must have got it from like a bulk buying place or something. It was
I bought
ridiculous.
a $200 locking steel cabinet to keep $50 worth of food safe. Yeah, but was it $50 worth of food safe over the lifetime of that food? Or was that like a couple of years? Because a couple of years, that's going to be thousands in food.
One of my friends as well, she went to uni. She decided that she was going to do the dorm life with the shared kitchen.
Oh, God.
And she was the only one that ever cleaned it. There was like 20 other people in this dorm, and she was the only one who ever cleaned it. She said she literally spent an hour cleaning the entire... It's like a little kitchenette thing. It's not a big space. And she spent an hour cleaning it, and then literally 15 minutes later, she came back in, and somebody had put ramen noodles, like they broke them in half in the sink, and just left them all over. And they were like all over the counter, all over in the sink. And then she's like, yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, and she's just like, that's it. I can't. Like, and they would steal her food and all sorts as well. Even though she labelled it and everything, like the dorm people said you're supposed to, like university said you're supposed to label your food and things. She did that and they still took it anyway.
Fat Steve, I would bet money that Sick doesn't drink. You would fucking lose that bet. I poured a drink very close to my mic during that entire thing she was saying. I have no idea what she said. I was too busy.
What does a wrench do? It makes you look pretty.
Technically, a wrench gives you an amount of moderation powers, but I don't want anybody using those moderation powers unless I command it. So in my world, you get like as many things of like deleting comments as you can, if that's what you decide to do, if you want to be a prick about it, basically, and then I remove it just as fast. Other than that, yeah, it doesn't really do anything. It gives you a pretty blue wrench. Fuck me. But yeah, other than that, not a lot. Cheap wrenches. Do I feel lucky? Nope. Does she charge for an uwu? Yes. That's double.
But I don't do accents. You get this one, and that's it.
You have to want it in the backwater gibber speak she normally does. That ramen incident would piss me the fuck off.
Yeah, it did. That's why she decided, like, that's
That
it.
would
I'm
be
done.
a
I'm
fight
done.
right there.
Yeah, I'm done with the dorm life and I'm leaving. She's like, yeah, she couldn't handle it anymore. And also
Fuck
the
this
part,
shit, I'm out.
it was that and the parties as well, and people drinking and leaving things outside her door. She didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm astounded that she even bothered with that, considering she's
did
not
it.
much of a party person.
No, she isn't. But she purely did it because she wanted to be close to the university. That's the only reason she did it. And also because getting like a house nearby was expensive. And dorms are pretty cheap, comparatively speaking.
The word is spanner. You're a spanner. I ever use my mod powers on other channel just means I don't have to deal with the slow mode on the chat. I mean, there is that. Oh, I thought it was a spanner. Everyone's saying it's a spanner. I think it's a wrench. I don't care. If you can dodge a wrench, you can get Sir Six whiskey. I mean, there is that. Sometimes you just need the noodle power. It was nice of them to leave you most of the meal. Ugh.
Is that famous?
Here's more money. Can I have a wrench for giggles? It has to be $20. That's the amount. That's the rules. That's been the rules for a really long time. You say you donate $20 and you say, I'd like a wrench. And then magically a wrench happens that is unrelated to that comment, as long as it's $20. Want spoon? Wanna. Wouldn't it be a whammer?
I like whammer. That's a good one.
This is my whammer. I can't see any reason why you couldn't have a hammer-ended wrench.
Oh god, that's nasty. I was
What's
in
that?
someone's student room and there was a blender with a mystery green liquid in it.
Oh.
From sitting there for weeks. Ugh.
No, you don't want that shit. I thought spanner was English while wrench was American, sort of like
Yeah,
the extra I in aluminium.
It is, but YouTube is mainly American, so
Yeah.
I call it a wrench.
I've seen the word is just wrench, so I just think wrench. I don't care. Like, there's certain Americanisms that I'm not a huge fan of, but for the most part, like, does it really matter? I think the spelling of jail in America is just better. Gale is just awful. Crap equals poopy. I mean, that's true. Crap is pretty poopy.
Yeah, but there's even a lot of English is sort of adopted stuff. Like, we don't call jail with a G, we say jail with a J, like Americans do. Just because it looks nicer as well.
Well, no, like, jail with a G is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying...
And if you were writing it in proper English, it would be with the G.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that we don't spell it like that.
Most people don't spell it like that, no. Like, if I've ever written it down, I've definitely written it J-I, whatever. J-R. I didn't know where the rest of the words were going. Shut up. Hey, Sick, I've just relapsed hard with PTSD. I decided that smashing up my boss's office was a good idea over an email. Not sure what came over me. Now been signed off work for 6 months. I mean, so are you still employed by that company? Because that's kind of cool of them. If they're understanding of that, or have you been like effectively sacked? Because that's also kind of unsurprising. But that's fucked. That's really not great.
Sheol.
What's up?
Instead of jail, it should be Sheol.
Shale. I can't tell Americans I'm having a cigarette without using hate words, apparently. I am smoking a fag. Like, I don't know. I've always just found that it's such a common term for fag for cigarette. Like, that's not something I smoked many, many years ago, and I never said it. I might say I need to go get a packet of fags, but yeah, it does sound weird when you're saying it in a more multinational audience.
I don't think I used it. I think I just said cigs.
Cigs.
Yeah.
It was cigs mostly. Eggplant is an ugly name for an aubergine.
Aubergine is more elegant.
Aubergine is definitely sexier. Then eggplant. Egg flour. Kids, my grandniece was bouncing on her great-grandma's couch. When asked if she had her clogs on, she stopped. And you could tell she was kicking them off before she said no, the logic of a 3-year-old. You wearing shoes on that? No. Dun, dun. I'm in the army. They can't get rid of me that quick. Oh, okay, fair enough. That's, I mean, yeah, fair enough. The quirks of English, aka thrice bastardized German. Oh, smoking is bad. I mean, yeah, that's why I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it for literally over a decade because I am lazy. I literally stopped smoking because Mrs. Six stopped smoking because she was having kids. My kids, shockingly, I know. And she was like, I don't want you smoking in the house. You need to smoke outside. And I went, well, then I'm not going to smoke, am I? And I just stopped.
You just stopped.
And she's always held it against me.
I'm really bitter about it.
Because she's still, like, especially when you're pissed.
Yeah, if I had a lot to drink, I really want cigarettes.
She's like, oh, babes, go to the shop and get me a pack of your fags. And I'm like, no. Don't you remember the lazy part? I'm not going to get up. Like, I have done it once when she was, like, desperate. And, yeah, it was kind of driving her crazy. But no more. She can live without them. English isn't a language. It's 3 languages standing on each other's shoulders wearing a big trench coat.
I like that.
It's half of Europe. The aubergine emoji is a dong, and the French for youth hostel is aubergine déjeuner. Coincidence? I don't know what the second bit means. Auberge déjeuner. So I don't know what any of that means. I mean, I guess it means youth hostel, but there we go. I found out that my knives are indeed very sharp last week. Was pulling a fillet knife out of a silicone mold, slipped and cut the hell out of my palm. 24 stitches. Thank you, no tendon damage. I was cleaning a cup. It was my favorite cup as well. It was one with the... Was it the one with the kids on it?
Yeah, it's pictures of kids on it.
Yeah, it was... it was a fucking... the ultrasound. And it's my favorite cup. And I was cleaning it, and the handle just broke off like it was nothing. And my... the bit between your thumb and your forefinger, it just went straight through that. And I was like, oh, thanks for that, universe. That really sucked. That really sucked. I say potato.
Do you get thin when you bleed?
No.
Because you're quite squeamish.
I'm not squeamish. I know what I do and I don't like. I know what I don't like to look at, but it doesn't make me faint. It just makes me... I think my biggest problem is, like, I put myself in that situation. So when I see people fucking with eyes, I think about my eyes getting fucked with.
Yeah.
So it's not really... It doesn't make me faint. It just makes me...
You have empathy. Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable.
See, that's the difference between you and me.
It's interesting how English is different in both the UK and the US. For the most part, we can all communicate, but word usage is different. Indeed. I'm so glad cloves got banned. They make me nauseous. Well, okay. I stopped by switching to vape, but it was so dull I quit that within a week. Fair enough. I know a lot of people are like well into vapes now. We get it. You vape. I tripped and fell on a drum kit once. Sounded a lot worse than it was.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's a joke.
That does sound like a joke.
It sounds like a joke, but then again, I tripped and fell on a drum kit once, but tits. I slipped with the glass in my hand. On a different occasion, I had a glass fall on my hand that was also full of glasses, and that also cut through my hand.
Oh, who put glasses in glasses?
Oh, it wasn't glasses in glasses. It was carrying many glasses at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, What makes Cersei gag? Very, very big penises down my throat. I'm just, I've got a weak gag reflex.
The smell of vomit tends to make him gag.
Very bad smells can make me quite. Also, touching really gross things that smell bad.
He doesn't like velvet either.
Velvet doesn't make me gag. I just don't like it.
And is it wooden sticks as well? You're like me, aren't you?
Oh, what, biting into a lollipop stick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that shit. But that
me...
doesn't make me gag.
That makes me gag.
It puts a chill up my spine. It's unpleasant, but
to me, it's like, no.
I bought myself an air fryer because it was Prime Day. Now I eat way too much because it's fun cooking with almost no effort.
That's what my mum does. She's like, it's so much healthier. Nom, nom, nom.
So much healthier to have all these chips. Trevor Noah has a really funny skit about the word napkin. Okay, I won't remember that and I won't see it, but thank you for letting me know. In America, it's pronounced vape. What?
Is it vape?
Vape. I fell and banged my head against the wall a few months back. 15 stitches, no problem since. Oh, wait, it was 4 years ago. Or 10. Shit. I live in Maine. Isn't that something? Well done, John Smith. Well done. I managed a Terminator moment when I was working for Bernard Matthews. Turns out tendons are sort of ivory colour before the blood flows. Yeah. I have a permanent scar on my palm because of a coffee cup. Yes. Coffee cups are fucking dangerous. Fuckity fuck. Cloves got banned for similar reasons to the attempt of banning menthols and flavour vapes because think of the children.
Oh, yeah, vapes.
Yeah, I mean, I thank Atheismo that I stopped smoking before they banned menthols because that's what I smoked. And I can't fucking... I would have quit. If it wasn't easy to get a hold of menthol cigs, I would have quit. They've got lots of different other ways of having them. I don't get it. You're just making it worse for the people who like them.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
What's that?
There's a video of a mother sucking snot out of a baby's nose.
But that's really bad. Can people start commenting more so that goes off the list so I can't see it? That's genuinely fucking gross.
That's really nasty.
Steak through the heart still works, right? Just like with vegetarians. True. I can handle any animal mess, but humans gross me out. Yeah, like the cat pukes randomly around the house, and occasionally a piece of her crap will she'll come out of the fucking thing, and it will just be dangling out of her ass. Usually because she's eating a fucking hair or something, so she drags it into the living room. That doesn't bother me. Standing in it, that's no good. But cleaning it up, it doesn't really bother me. I once stapled my wrist to an armchair. It's surprising how metal ruins wood, but flesh makes it wrap around the tendons. Nice. Did they actually ban menthol cigs? I think so.
Like the ones with
in a really roundabout way?
They banned the filters.
I'm not sure if they banned the filters.
Yeah, they did. You have to get ones now that have... You put your plain...
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you put your plain filters in a thing with a stick in it.
Yeah, a really, really mentholy stick.
Yeah, and it's supposed to absorb the menthol, which it doesn't.
It does to a degree.
No, it doesn't.
What you do is you buy 4 of them, and then it actually works.
But then the other ones is the ones with the snap things in.
Yeah.
They apparently they banned them because it makes smoking more alluring to children.
Mm. I mean, just stop selling kids cigarettes for fuck's sake. Can't be that hard. You can roll menthol cigs mixing flavoured tea to tobacco. Huh. That's one way to do it. America doesn't learn. See the war on drugs. I mean, this isn't America. This is England. I cut my fingers off by accident with a katana after cutting through the wood sheath, practicing drawing the sword over and over again as quick as possible. Were they reattached? Or was that a hard lesson to learn? You can get menthol cigs in the US if you want them. Yeah, there you go. Camel crushes were the word. What the fuck is that? cigs are hidden in the shops now here. They may only exist on the black market for all I know.
They do a thing now where they used to have them on display, but now they have shutters over the front of them, and if you want them, they open the shutter and get it out and then close it again.
Yeah. It just makes it all more inconvenient than anything else.
And also the price.
Most
as well.
of this
the
stuff.
Price hiked up.
Oh
as well.
God, yeah. Most of this stuff again was before, after I had stopped smoking. So I'm like, that sounds shit. Oh well, it doesn't bother me. Stop selling children. Full stop. It's illegal, you know. I mean, where else are you supposed to get them? Vaping.
Yeah, they banned menthols, but then they had candy-flavoured vape juice, yeah.
Vaping should be treated like smoking.
It is.
For the most part, yeah.
It is smoking. It's inhaling something which your body really shouldn't be inhaling.
And for the most part, it's treated like it as well. It's just like, if you want it, you have to go to... You can't smoke vapes inside. You could for a while, and then they went, oh, that's basically the same thing. Can we stop? Cookies are baked in an AI bakery. Or an owl bakery? Okay. Which bakery? Can I get an AI that makes me cookies? That sounds pretty good.
That'd be amazing.
Camel Crushes were regular cigarettes with a menthol cap in the filter you could crush. It makes the cigarette menthol instead. Yes, I remember those. They were very short-lived as far as I was aware. One of our friends used to have them. In Japan, many places have designated smoking rooms, and the smell of those rooms is beyond gross. Yeah, we're aware of that because Yakuza.
Yeah, we vaguely said, like, you're not supposed to smoke in public, you have to smoke indoors in a certain spot.
Mm.
Which is also very inconvenient for people.
Yeah. Vapes aren't hidden like cigarettes, I suppose. But most of the time, it's like a vape shop.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. They have a shop dedicated to it.
I do wonder if you would be allowed to have a tobacconist. Like, dedicated. Will you go in this empty white void of a room? And you go, do you have cigarettes?
You mean yellow?
No, because you couldn't smoke in there. You wouldn't be allowed to smoke in there. You could only buy.
Or only purchase, you mean?
And it would just be a big empty white room. You'd walk in, ask for cigarettes, and then they'd like go in the back and come out with one packet.
Like a pharmacy.
That'd be hilarious. Squirrels vape these days. They're vaping all the days. I quit smoking 20 times a day. Yeah. Quitting smoking's easy. I've done it 3 times this week. That's wild. I didn't know that about Japan. Yeah. If you want to know lots of things about Japan, play the Yakuza series. Not all of it accurate, obviously, but there's a lot of interesting things.
And Yakuza is awesome.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Start with Yakuza 0. Real good. When I was about 20 months old, my mum, while cooking bacon, or with cooking bacon, and poured the hot grease into a container, I tried to reach up on the counter for the container and pulled it down all over my face. Ah! I mean, that doesn't make me gip. That just makes me feel very sorry for baby you. Oh.
I bet you taste amazing, though.
And your mother's just like, the face juice. Yum, yum, yum. There's a video of a guy accidentally cutting his friend's nose off with a katana trying to cut a hot dog he was holding in his mouth. Well, that's why. Fucking idiot. I don't even feel sympathy for that. If you go, you should cut a hot dog off, all right, put a hot dog in your mouth, I'll cut it. You just go, fucking no, Steve. Fuck off. I've got anything else to do other than you cutting fucking shit out of my mouth. Fuck that. We're not friends anymore. I've always been the sort that people have considered me a killjoy more than once. And then gone and done something really fucking stupid, gotten themselves hurt, and I'm gone, I'm glad I didn't fucking do that, you stupid assholes. And it's just, yeah. Dickheads always want everyone else to suffer as they do something stupid. One of my old jobs still had a smoking section off the staff dining area. Smoking inside had been banned 3 years before, but the room still smelled like ass. Yeah, I've been playing Yakuza 5. We've gotten all the way up. We're playing them in order. We're on Yakuza Like a Dragon, and it's really good. I say very different. A bit different, at least in terms of the combat. It's very different. but it is good. Play stupid games, win stupid very stupid prizes if you're going to fucking chop people's goddamn faces off. He's lucky it's just his nose. Fucking hell. That's why they should put those kind of warnings on hot dogs. Warning, do not put in your mouth and let someone try and fucking cut it with a goddamn katana. I forged my first wakizashi 2 weeks ago. It's pretty badass, but I wouldn't try to cut something from someone's mouth with it because I'm not an idiot. That's fair. I think that is the standard for not an idiot. Would you take this incredibly sharp, long blade and...
That there is a responsible swordsman.
Yeah, that's grown-up shit right there. Actually, it's ethyl glycol in antifreeze, except the non-toxic type. Okay. I don't know where that came from, but cool. What's wrong with cold cats? Nothing? I don't understand.
A leftover cat.
Tobacconist makes me think of a specialty tobacco in jars, like labelled with place of origin, variety, blend, texture of the cut. They scoop it out and give it to you in fancy little bags. I have no idea. I've never seen a proper tobacconist. I just know that's a word that exists, and I like the word.
I thought it was a bit like an apothecary or an old sweet shop.
Oh my god. Old sweet shops are kind of gross.
Yeah.
You can just say, I got all these sweets, and then they go in and it just comes out as one giant sweet. If I want to see Yakuza, I'll go to Kabukicho. Yes, but if you want to see them fighting with benches, you play the Yakuza series as Kazuma Kiryu, the world's greatest block of granite in human form, who is awesome and I love him. Although Ichiban Kasuga, he's really worming his way into my heart. I love that guy. He's so positive, it's ridiculous. Please drink some more whiskey. Think you might be sobering up. I'm still drinking, thank you very much. World's worst game, Pachinko. Is that... Like, I feel like there's more than one version of Pachinko, and I don't mean just, like, different game versions, but, like, there was the Pachinko download in Yakuza Like a Dragon, and it wasn't Pachinko at all. It was like it was more like slot machines, and it was really boring, and I was very upset by it.
The only thing I know
I thought it was supposed to be the balls thing.
The only thing I know about Pachinko is that it's really loud, so I would hate it in there.
When I worked at Elizabeth Arden, one of the senior VPs loved to smoke in her office. The other smokers had to hang out in there to smoke. When the office door was open, the smoke would pour out. God damn.
Like like a pop star show.
Ta-da! I lived in Japan for a long time, back in the 1970s. Okay. We have not God-given right to kill ourselves through excess, indulgence, and misadventure. True. But yeah, thanks you for sharing your smarts with all of us. You're welcome, Fat Steve. I mean, that's literally his name. It feels like I'm being an asshole, but that's literally his name. There was a tobacconist in Dublin, and they would blend custom tobacco for pipes. They also sold special import cigars. Don't know if it's still there. I'd be surprised if it was.
A lot of things didn't survive 2020.
A lot of, yeah. I mean, that is the thing. Any restaurant that actually managed to survive that time period, it's kind of impressive. We were watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, and most of the places didn't survive like 5 minutes after he left, the Gordon Ramsay ones. But then you see a lot of them and they go, the ones that do survive, and then they get to 2020 and then most of them are gone. It's kind of sad, but oh well. I've heard you can smoke catnip. You can smoke anything. It's just whether or not you should is kind of the whole thing. Anyway, it's 10 seconds left and then I'm going to fuck off. So, thank you all for coming. And I'm going to see you next time because I need a rest. And it's been a long day. So, yeah. 6 staying on after the hour. A new record. No.
Bye-bye.